Hey there guys, welcome back to Satisfactory, and in today's video I'm going to do a world tour as we prepare to leave update 5 and join update 6. Firstly, starting off with this old power station. So this was one of the first builds that I had made. This is just a normal coal power station housing 30 coal generators, as well as a few batteries for backup power, but there's nothing too fancy about this build. It's pretty straightforward. If we go upstairs, we have a bit of a control room. I really got into the use of signs, so I was pretty much putting them everywhere. So we have a bit of an information board about the generators and the efficiency. They're all green, so nothing's broke. That's good. Now, as we leave the power plant and go to the right, you'll see the 3 train stations. Now, all these are similar build. This one is housing the coal that's being sent to the power plant. This one is the iron plates, and this is the reinforced iron plates, all being sent under the foundations down into the roundabout that is then split off to the mega factory that will eventually be built, as well as into the main storage hub. Now, all this consists of is the main train station, and then underneath is a bit of a parking garage and some storage. Now, if we come across the bridge, that I did improve it with the beams as soon as update 5 had come out, and then as soon as they had sort of released the asphalt foundations, I got to work pretty much laying down the roads. I believe it just makes it all look so much better. So over to the right is the iron and reinforced iron plate factory. Now, this was a big build. This did take some time. I did do a showcase video on it, so I won't go into too much detail. But on the left side here is where the iron plates are made, and on the right side is screws. They get sent up to the top, where using the recipe where you take the iron plates and add screws and turn it into reinforced iron plates. They are then sent down. So this train station on the left is for the iron plates, the one on the right is for the reinforced iron plates. Now, I'm using the pure iron recipe, which is iron ore plus water into the refinery. So I built this mini water storage building over here. It's not one of the best builds that I've done. It was something that I put together quickly, as I didn't want just water extractors being left in a field randomly. So I thought I'd tidy it up a little bit. Next, we have the fuel power plant. Now, with this I tried to be realistic, so I created 3 cooling towers which all hold 18 fuel generators. I did do a showcase video on this, but I will go around it a little bit. So if you follow the road in, you can come into the parking lot. If you follow it again, you come down to the employee parking lot. And then if you follow these up, you can come into the main area. So this is underground of the power plant. In here is where all the pipe work is, and some more fuel storage. Down there is where the coal is produced for the power plant, the coal power plant back in the beginning. Over here we have a coal storage underneath the train station. And over there is the train station bringing in the fuel, and that is fuel storage area in there. Again, you can check that out on the showcase video. So if you follow the road, it'll take you to the fuel processing plant. Now, with these roads is where I started to try and experiment more with the curved roads, implementing it close to the environment without actually clipping into the environment. So there's a lot of turns, there's a lot of uphill and downhill areas, and it's also why this area is sort of long with quite a bit of a tight turn. because I couldn't quite get it to go from there to there without all the turns and stuff. So as you follow it down, you come into the fuel processing plant. So the trains come in here. This is where the fuel is loaded. Above is where it's all stored. And all the refineries are in here. Now I tried to make this as much of a factory as possible by laying down walkways, adding a bit of safety signs. This is all for the recycling. I do like this build. The building itself I'm not too keen on, but the build in general is pretty good. So next is a recent build that I've just finished. This is another coal power plant. Now the main reason that this was built was actually to implement this curved road. It fits nicely around it. And I do really like this build. I think the build inside and outside turned out really well. And again, there is a showcase video. And then if you follow the main road, so this road will connect you to the Quartz factory and the steel factory. It goes underneath a cave system, which eventually I'm going to get around to filling in with foundations to make it look like a tunnel rather than just a cave. So as we follow this road round, you'll notice that I built a dam sort of system here. This is to bring the coal down from the top. I didn't want to just chuck some conveyors down, so I tried to make it look as tidy as possible. The conveyors follow the top of this foundation, which I really like because it sort of goes over the road. So that's quite nice. So this is the steel factory producing steel beams and steel pipes. Now, I had to alter this from the showcase video by adding in a bit more foundations and getting rid of some of the windows, mainly because of how much lag I'm getting from all the windows. Now, once again, I did do a showcase video on this, but I will show some of this build off because I do like this build. So if you come underneath, you'll have the parking garage. At the back there is the storage area for the steel ingots. And if you come through this door, you come into, oh, if I can get through the door, you come into the production area where the ingots are made. So I tried to utilize as much space in this build as possible. Now if you follow the road, it'll take you to the quartz and silica build. Now this is one of my favourite builds. I really like the colouring of this build and the way that it came out. So on the left side of on the blue side we have the silica, and on the pink side we have the quartz. And the theme is pretty much represented all the way out. So blue is on the left, pink is on the right. And once again, I do have a showcase video on this build if you'd like to check it out. So as we follow the main road back into the main hub area, you'll see on the right is a old refinery setup creating plastic and rubber. This will eventually be destroyed and built something new. I just left it there because it's just still producing, so I just dump it all into the awesome sink. Now this building here is the most recent showcase video that I produced. This is for rods and screws, and I really like the way that this build turned out. It's one of my favourite builds. It's very tidy, it's tidy inside. Even the outside looks pretty cool, if I do say so myself. So yeah, maybe check out the showcase video. I won't go too much detail into that. So this big platform here will eventually be the Mega Factory. Still a work in progress. It may come in 2022, it may not. And then last but not least is the main storage hub. So all the parts are being sent under the floor, and it's going into a sushi belt. Now what a sushi belt is where all the items are just chucked on one belt, and it goes through an array of smart splitters, and the smart splitters tells it that if it's full, chuck it onto the next row and it will get dumped into the awesome sink, as the concrete is doing here. So this will just keep going, it will always produce concrete, as well as some of the reinforced iron plates. So this is the main belt where it goes across, and if it needs sorting, it will go into the chest at the top. If not, it will just keep going round until it's told that it needs to go onto this belt, which will then go into the sink. Now, I kind of got creative with this and made a really colourful spiral. I just wanted something different rather than just having a plain wall going to the top. So inside it's pretty cool, it's got all the belts going to the top. So I'll come out here and I'll fly to the top. So I did change this building as well. Originally it was all yellow and red. I kind of changed it to grey. Added a few foundations there. Again, because too many windows was affecting it. I don't know if it's changed the lag at all. It seems to be running a little bit better. But as you come to the top, we have all our storage, all the items that you could possibly need, some that haven't been allocated yet, they will eventually. And then at the top, if I come back out, it's the spawn location. So when you enter the world, this is where you start, and for Patreon members, this is where you'll be able to get all your stuff. So that's just a world tour ready for update 6. Hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next one.